What's going on, y'all? So we about to get into exactly how I was able to make $12,000 today. Man, if you're on the community, you already know what's up. So let's get into this. Keeping it a raw breakdown, simple, straight to the point. Ain't nothing too complicated, man. Let's get into it. So we're gonna break down exactly how I was able to catch, these three moves within the last 24 hours, making your boy $12,000, which is a good amount of money. I'll tell you that, especially the fact that this is my first time actually opening my laptop. I called all these trades or took all these trades on my phone alone. This one and this one, they were taken from my bed. And no, this one was taken from my bed. This one was taken from my bed. And this one, I forgot what I was doing, but I was outside, man. Your boy is enjoying his life. Yeah, man, let's go over exactly the thought process, the psychology, the everything within these trades. Guys, one more thing. If you are not inside the EVA community, make sure you click the link down below. Join it. It's completely free. I mean, I called all these trades in the community, so if you were in there, you would have ate with me as the rest of the members did, man. So there's no reason, there's no excuse not to be making money off your phone like us, right? But let's get into this. So everything goes down to the weekly time frame. That's very important. Always start on the weekly time frame, the daily time frame. You want to get that higher time frame bias. Guys, one thing I'm gonna stress to you guys, damn, my bad, I'm shaking the whole computer. Keep the weekly bias in check, like keep it on point, understand what you're looking for, but I'm losing my train of thought. Forget it. Just forget it. Just forget it. Anyways, we got a higher high, we got a higher low, we got a higher high, we got a higher low, then we have a huge higher high point, and then we're retesting this demand zone, which is an area of buying pressure. Nothing too crazy. I mean, especially seeing how we close very, very strong. So there's a possibility that we could break this demand zone. But as you could see, we are currently wicking out, meaning that the buying pressure is, of course, exposing itself. Very, very good, very, very good sign to see if we could, continue pushing towards the upside. Especially, I'm not the biggest fundamental guy, but you guys know the war is going on and all that. Investors typically move their money out of the stock market and other investments and dump in gold because gold is never going to be bearish. I'll tell you that. A gold chain that was back in the old days is still a gold chain now, and the value has increased over time. I mean, look, solid gold. You could rub gold all the way like this, and it's just layers of more gold. You understand what I'm saying? So that's it. That's like the fundamental analysis behind this, not position, but behind gold long term. Now, this position was taken based off like the 4-hour time frame, so I'm not gonna stick to the higher time frame too much. But as you guys could see, we were pushing very, very bullish, and very, very simple. We have some kind of drop off towards the downside. So selling pressure is definitely within the market, and that's something you guys have to understand. Let me move this demand zone because that was just an example. Let me go to my lower time frame, where the 4-hour time frame. This is where the setup was taking place from. So you guys can see the bullish trend was over. Huge sell-off, and momentum is very, very strong. I want you guys to notice something. Look at the size of the candles to the downside versus the size of the candles to the upside. Momentum is very, very strong compared to the bullish momentum in the market. Bearish momentum is very, very strong. Now, we pushed down right here, and we never even got a chance to test previous structure, which would be up here. We immediately continued pushing down, showing that once again momentum is very, very strong. I also had my moving average on just to check the how we're actually doing. And as you could see, let's go on like the daily time frame. We were above the moving average, showing signs that buying pressure is very, very strong. And then we started breaking underneath for the first time from August or last year, July. This is the first time we've been under the moving average, which is showing that, of course, selling pressure is, not only kicking in the market, but have completely kicked in, especially seeing that I'm using the 75 SMA, which is a delayed reaction. So that's very, very good also to support my bias for these sell positions. Now let's get into the actual detail work. We pushed down very, very aggressive, and the first thing I did notice, I wanted to see price actually retest previous structure area, because that is the highest probability along with the supply zone of, good selling pressure. We were so bearish that we didn't even get to retest previous structure. Instead, we retested some of these wicks, which is not really It's not really the best confluence to me, but it worked, right? I seen that we were retesting the wicks. I seen that price printed a doji, which is showing some kind of indecision, some kind of exhaustion, which told me that, hey, selling pressure is somewhere around this area. And I said to myself, hey, if selling pressure is around this area, there is a possibility that we can continue selling from right here. Now, if we go towards my 1 hour time frame, look what you're going to notice. We pushed down very, very aggressive, and we came back and retested this area. Guys, look, I want you guys to notice something about my chart. How many indicators do you see? 1. Do I need it anymore? No. I already know the momentum of the market. How many indicators do you see now? 0. Don't make life complicated. What am I doing? Just looking at market structure. How many zones do I have? 1. What is this zone? What is this zone for? An area of resistance. What does resistance mean? It's an area of selling pressure. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, don't overcomplicate things, guys. Exactly what I'm showing you is exactly what I was doing on my phone. I didn't look at too much other, I don't know too much about the fair value gaps and the IFVGs. Is that even the same thing? I think they're the SMTs. I'm not too sure, and I'm not saying those stuff don't work, but I'm saying, like, I just keep it simple. You win or you lose, but I keep it very simple. So we rejected this area. And look at this. Look where we touched again. The support, once we break, turns into what? A resistance. We broke the support that we tested twice, and we came back and retested as a resistance. And what do we see? Exhaustion and exhaustion. This candle was everything to me. Look, buyers push price all the way up here, and what happens? Sellers match the energy and push price down, which shows that not only that this is an area of resistance, but there's definitely selling pressure within this area. Now let me go on the replay tool and like show you guys what I'm seeing. So I seen this. This is the first reaction. I said to myself, interesting. We're probably going to drop to where? Of course, this area. So this is the kind of zone I was looking at now. I'm like, okay, we broke, retested. Now I'm looking to target here. Cool. I'm not even watching at this point, man. This is just the market doing its thing. Okay, cool. But we retraced. Now, when price makes a lower low and then makes a lower high point, that's bearish structure. But we make a higher low point before breaking the lows. Now we are in minor structure. What am I going to do? I'm going to draw a line. Minor structure is a range. Within the range, as long as these highs don't break, we're still very, very bearish, and my target is still the lows. Let me actually make this ×2 thickness so we could actually see it. Yeah, as I was saying, once this lower high point doesn't break, it's considered minor structure, and we're still good to target these lows. We push back up into where? Testing the highs, which is a resistance, and now this area becomes a supply zone, which is it's like a form of resistance, but it's a strong resistance. It's an area of more liquidity, which another word is just money. Okay, we tapped into supply zone, and how I look at it is this, guys. I want you to really lock in and think with me right now. The market pushed down very heavy, price pushed up. Now we're trying to go towards the downside to continue the bearish trend. But what happened? We create a higher low point. Just think about buyers and sellers. Sellers are trying to push the market down. Buyers stepped in, showing that we're not ready to go down yet. All we're going to do is grab liquidity, which is money, from the supply zone, grabbing more selling pressure to see if we can make another move to the downside. That's all we're doing. Like, the goal is to get to here. We just have to, we got to see if we could get more sellers, man. We're in a losing game right now. It's a little battle. So we pushed up into this area, and I went to my lower time frame. I think it was a 3 minute, somewhere around here. Cool. What I see? Structure. Pushed up. Let me draw this. Honestly, I could have waited a little bit longer. I'm going to be very honest. Because I should have waited for this to happen. But I was so confident that this area is going to hold, simply because I understood the motive of gold, as I was just explaining. I mean, you could really see it. We have a left head, and I'm looking for the right shoulder. So I was expecting something like this, but I was willing to go for it. I made stop loss tight because I said I didn't really see price breaking this area at all. If we do break this area, I'm not too interested in this position, and we might continue going towards the upside. So I took my sells, and I called this in the chat. I don't know if you guys I was going to say, I don't know if you guys are in the chat, but I mean, of course you guys are in the chat. But for those who are not in the chat, y'all need to get in the chat. We immediately broke structure. Once I seen this break, I knew we should be good. And everything else would just be considered a lower high point at that point. Psychology behind this trade, I'm going to be very honest. I wasn't even paying attention. I'm usually really locked in trying to, whatever. But I wasn't paying attention. I think I was canoeing at this point. I think I was canoeing, and I didn't even have my phone on me. But, anyways, whatever. We did that. We did that. We went ahead and did all that, yada 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 yada, and this is where I closed that. I didn't hold for the 1 to 5. So the 1 to 5 eventually got hit at 8:45 p.m. I did not close. I closed around somewhere around here. Now let me explain to you why I closed somewhere around here. Psychology kicked in. Your boy is done canoeing. I'm back. I'm back watching the market. But look, left head, right shoulder, neckline. This pattern is called a heads and shoulders pattern. I want you guys to understand something. Let me draw this zone right here. Let's make this like green, and let's make this. Okay, perfect. All right, y'all can see me. Left head, right shoulder. Okay, that's the pattern. What is this called? My collarbone, or I guess you could say for this, a neckline. This is the neckline. This area, I'm not gonna say it's holding up my body. It's not, but you guys get my point. Like, this is the area. Yeah, and that's supposed to be the strongest area of support. Now, let me draw the human body. So we got the head right here. Let me draw the eyes like this. Then we got the shoulder. We got the shoulder. This is the arm, and then this would be the arm. Okay? And hell no, that's wrong. I mean, I'm not about to get in my art bag, but maybe the arm will be down here. Because this would be the neck. Whatever. This is the neck. This is the neckline. That's the strongest area of support and buying pressure. So the market doesn't always have to break there. Instead, it could react. So I said, instead of forcing a 1 to 5, which is down here, I'm just simply going to close right here. Now, so I closed out for a 1 to 3, which is, you know, if I risk $1, I make 3. I risk 100, make 300. Risk 1,000, make 3,000. You guys get my point. Now, you guys can see my overall target was right here, but I don't need a 1 to 10. I don't need the stress of a 1 to 10. Like, I'm good with my 1 to 3s, and, you know, keep it like that way on gold. But that was how I caught this move. Cool. Fast forward. I'm done with gold for the day. I ate. The chat ate. Life's good. Move on. Let's kind of fast forward. Show you guys the thought process. Mind you, let's go back to the 1 hour time frame. You guys got to remember, what did I just say? Lower low point, lower high point, higher low point, minor structure. As long as this lower high point and it isn't broken, we're still bearish. I don't care if we start doing this, we do 360s. If this area is being maintained, we are still good to target this area. If we break, then we break. But if not, I'm still very bearish on gold. Now, cool, we're making bearish structure. Mind you, I'm off the chart now, bro. I'm probably sleeping. I'm not paying attention. Cool. Now this morning, so this was yesterday. This morning, oh, stop spoiling. What we doing? This morning, what happened? As I said, I'm still very bearish on gold. We pushed up into where? These highs. Look. Rejection, and guess where we are? Let's draw a little zone. Right here, guys. I don't make it harder than it is, man. It's just support and resistance. Areas of buying and selling pressure. Ain't nothing too much to it. But we push up in this area of selling pressure, and what do I look for? Some kind of break of structure to show me that price no longer wants to be there. No longer wants to push up. So we don't draw or a little line. We're just waiting. We push down very aggressive. Okay, cool. Structure broke. You guys can see this. Push down. Broke this little area. Now what am I looking for? Lower high point. Cool. We started getting a lower high. And I'm in there. Money. That was this morning. The whole chat ate off of this again. That was another 1 to 3. So we caught a 1 to 3 here and a 1 to 3 here. 1 to 5 got hit. I didn't hold. If you guys held, shout out to you guys, but I personally didn't. So 3RR, 3RR. Now we're up a 6RR on gold. And I said to myself, I'm probably done. I don't know. I'm already up a nasty bag. At this point, I'm up about $10,000. $10,000, yeah. And then this trade was $2,000. So cool. I was like, okay, cool. I'm done. Mind you, let me dry this neckline. This neckline is holding like very strong. We push back up. Same kind of thing, guys. We reject the highs again. Same thing. All I'm doing is taking a sell. I go to my lower time frame. I'm looking for some kind of structure to start breaking. All I see is this. Selling pressure. Once we retraced 120%, pretty much like a break, all I'm looking for is a lower high point. As soon as we pushed up a little bit, I called sells. I'm in there. I dealt with a drawdown. Now, the reason we had drawdown, number one, it's gold, and I hate gold. Number two, drawdown's not bad, but I'm just saying in general. Now it's 11, 25 a.m. There's not too much volume in the market. Like, volume is leaving, so we kind of dealt with fluctuation, not a problem. Cool. Eventually we end up pushing towards our TP, hitting it perfectly, and we're still kind of fluctuating, doing our thing right now. I do expect the lows to eventually get hit, but as I said, it's what, 12:42, 43 p.m. There's not too much volume. And this position may be $2,000, which puts me up $12,000 for the day, 24 hours, which is really good. So for me, for the rest of the week, I will be trading, but I'm not really risking too much. I might put down $1,000 per position. So, 13, 14, 15, 16,000. I don't think I'm going to up to 2,000. How I do it is, it's like, if I make a bag, I say to myself, let's say I'm up 12,000. I tell myself a number that I don't want to be under. That's how I'm able to remain profitable. So I say to myself, we're up 12K. Let's say I don't want to see myself under 8K this week. Like, I guaranteed myself $8,000 for the week. Once I hit negative $4,000, I'm done for the week. As long as I remain above, I could keep trading. I don't want to go as far as 8K. I'm taking home $10,000 this week. So I got $2,000 of room to actually trade. I could either risk it all on one trade. If I lose, I'm done for the week. I could split it into 2 trades. I could drop 500 on each trade, which will give me 4 trades of, but you guys want to, I'm saying $10,000 guaranteed no matter what. Once I hit that $10,000 mark, I'm done for the week. Great week, move on. A lot of you guys will hit that $10,000 mark and say, no, I need a 2,000 back. Let me go. No. $10,000 is my money. 2,000 is my buffer. So I made 12,000, but I made 10,000, 2,000 buffer. That's how I keep my psychology in check. So you got to separate it like that. It helps very much, man. But yeah, that's the move. I mean, if we look at gold right now, what are we kind of doing? Let me actually delete these. I might need these for a breakdown, so let me actually hide them. But how I look at gold right now, same old, still within this area. As long as this doesn't get broken, I'm still looking for gold to actually push towards the lows. It's really just win at this point. And structure is very simple. Guys, look, this is the only thing on my chart. Don't make life harder for yourself. I don't even have any zones on it. It's like, I'm just worrying about this area. That's it. So if we keep pushing back to the highs and show me selling pressure, I'm going to keep selling on gold. Mind you guys, look at this. I'm not taking any buys on golds. That's something to understand. If price is bearish overall, I'm only taking sells in a range. I will not be taking any buys on the lows trying to finesse to the highs. No, I'm selling at the highs and buying my position back at the lows, which means I'm closing out of my position. I will not be taking any buys. All right, so that's it for the video though. You guys make sure you like, subscribe, join the Discord, man. I'll see you guys in the community. And yeah, let me actually close this off, man. I'm out here, man. Peace.